Alright, ladies and gents, this is your buddy Kid Thunder, and I am sending a video response to Jack the Bomb's video discussing about people who supports the PlayStation Move and bash the Wii. Now, Jack the Bomb, for one thing, about your video, you've made excellent points regarding about that, because ever since the date this has been going on ever since the days of PSX and N64. I mean, you're actually right that Sony is pretty much notorious for, ripping off Nintendo and whatnot. So that's about it. I remember mentioning this thing about the PlayStation Move back on my rant talking about the video game industry. And yes, Sony has pretty much unveiled their PlayStation Move, and they unveiled it say like around 2 months ago. And come to think of it, by the way it looks and by the way it feels, it is indeed a blatant copy of the Nintendo Wii remote. Now, in this time of video games nowadays, in my honest opinion, the whole thing about, motion control and whatnot, to tell you the truth, it's all a gimmick and a novelty at the same time. Despite the fact that the Wii is basically outselling its competitors and whatnot, but come to think of it, all I want to do is just press buttons when I'm playing a video game. But if I do want to exercise, I want to, I should go for motion control, while exercising, while playing a video game. Now come to think of it, here's the killer. With so many people bashing the Wii because of Sony's motion controller thing, I really don't get that. What's even worse is that, in this current generation of gaming, here's the killer. I don't even have a fucking Wii. I don't have one. I can't get one. I can't even afford one. I'm piss poor. And I don't mean to say piss poor in a literal manner, but yeah, I'm piss poor and I can't afford one. And come to think of it, this pretty much will indeed be my next video game console purchase. Why do I say this? Well, not because I'm trying to say this out of fanboyism. No, because I'm not a fanboy. I'm a gamer. But the real reason why my next console purchase will be a Wii is primarily because, in spite of some of the shovelware titles and all the friggin' casual game titles and whatnot that is on there, there are some Wii gems that I really should pick up and play. And games like Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, House of the Dead Overkill, New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Maybe I'll get that soon. And this all goes down to this, when I was talking about in my rant about the video game console wars in the video game industry, well, come to think of it, I would say this is that the real reason why Sony basically created their version of the motion controller and whatnot, and all of the video game developers jumping on Sony's bandwagon and leaving Nintendo's bandwagon. And I even said this in my rant talking about the video game industry. They're only doing this for one major thing, and that is corporate greed. Jack the Bomb, you're also right stating that, in this current generation, not just this current generation, but throughout the entire decade, this past decade of gaming, vast majority of us gamers have become nothing but graphics whores. But in my personal opinion, to tell you the truth, I don't play a video game for graphics. I only play a video game as if I either like it or not, or as if I look at all the other things about a video game. Whether I look at the play control, I look at the gameplay, I look at the concept, and that's all I do. As said by many times by many people, gameplay is what it matters about a video game. I mean, graphics does not make a game, to tell you the truth. I mean, sure, I like to see pretty nice visuals, but what if the game sucks? Is the question that I have to say. Come to think of it, the only company that knows how to revolutionize gaming is Nintendo. I mean, they're pretty much the pioneers of the video game market. And it's not just Nintendo that just doing that. Sega from back in the day even pioneered the video game market as well. Another reason why Sony is releasing the PlayStation Move and whatnot for their PlayStation 3 system, obvious reason is because they want gamers like us. They even want Wii gamers come over to their side so they can have like HD gaming experience. I mean, to tell you the truth, high definition is bullshit. Come to think of it, I don't even see what's really the difference between standard definition and high definition. Yeah, the only minor difference is, graphical detail. Here's the killer. I don't care for graphical detail. All I want to do is just play the game, and that's it. I don't care if it has like graphics of 8-bit. I don't even care if it has like, visually polished material and whatnot. And come to think of it, high definition is very overrated. I remember 2 months ago I read an article on videogames.yahoo.com talking about the PlayStation Move. Basically it's supposed to be like Sony's response to the Nintendo Wii Remote. How can it be a response and all it is basically a blatant copy of it? But let's take it back even further. Back in the days of, before Super NES came out, Nintendo and Sony basically teamed up, to do so they can do like a CD based add-on for the Super NES. Come to think of it, the Super NES add-on never came to be because, number one, I'm pretty sure Nintendo knew what they were doing at the time, and number two, if they would have kept that deal, obviously Sony would have got most of the profit share. But one thing, jakthebomb, tell you the truth, the video game industry, and the video game community, to tell you the truth, we were once an appreciative market. In my opinion, I would say that, the appreciative market basically, happened around throughout the 80s and the 90s. So, ever since the turn of the decade and the turn of the century, all the industry right now cares about is just money, being money hungry, number one, and number two, us as gamers, vast majority of us as gamers, all about caring all about graphics. So that's pretty much what I have to say in terms of this video response. As of now, this is Kid Thunder signing off. Stay tuned for more.